How's it going, you big... I'm not in the right spot anyway. I shouldn't start the video here. I usually like to look at the player. I might leave that in the start of the video. How's it going, you big beautiful bastards? Welcome back to another career sim on Madden 24. Today, we have the greatest cornerback to ever play football, and it's not even close, I'm sorry. There's no argument you can make against it, but it is Deion Sanders, primetime himself. So I just want to go into this. I want to look at his stats. I obviously have him as an X factor, but I put him at 97 speed, and I gave him like 92 change of direction. I made him a 99 returner. I gave him 92 jumping. I'm going to go through their stats more often when I start these two. We'll give him 72 play rec. That works. Zone coverage, I gave him a 76. Man, I gave him an 83, and I gave him 84 press. I made him a 99 overall returner just to make sure he does end up being the return man, because he should be. He was one of the greatest returners to ever play football. As of right now, he's projected the 9th overall pick. As you can see, he's an 84 overall. He's behind a couple big name guys like Drake May, Doug Hewitt's up here, Marvin Harrison, you guys Scotty Williams, but Caleb Williams is never that high up on this. He's actually right under him in 10th. In simulating through the regular season, the Giants ended up with the #1 overall pick, as Deion Sanders is the highest rated player, or tied for the highest rated player with Marvin Harrison. I could see him going #1, but I don't imagine he does. As we go to the next pick, Marvin Harrison goes #1. No, the steal. Oh my God, please go to Pittsburgh. Give me prime time in Pittsburgh. They get Glenn Jackson. Chicago Bears. Deion Sanders is a Chicago Bear. That's pretty cool. Who do they have? Who does he team up with? I guess Eddie Jackson at free safety. Corner wise, I'm trying to think. They don't have Kendall Fuller anymore, I don't think, or Kyle Fuller. As we're going into his rookie season, you can see Deion's an 85 overall and already corner #1 on this team. You get Eddie Jackson, Jaquan Brisker. You get, is that John Johnson? Jalen Johnson. I don't even know who that is. I'm going to be honest. No clue who that is, but he's an 82 overall. No, that's Darnell Mooney. Okay, he was an 84. And also Jeremy Chin. Is there 2 Jeremy Chins in the league? Because I thought he was supposed to be a safety. But now we simulate to the playoffs in his rookie season, whereas we go into this, as I've been saying at the beginning of all of my last couple videos, I want to say sorry that I haven't been uploading as much. It's been a struggle. I worked a 50-hour week this week, so I just really struggle to find time to record this. As we're recording this the opening day of college football Saturday. And right now, as I'm doing this, I'm actually watching the Colorado TCU game, and Colorado is currently up 13-7, but they're reviewing Travis Hunter's touchdown right now. Oh wow, rookie year, they make the playoffs. They go 9-8. Okay, Chicago, Justin Fields must be doing something right. As we go and look at the stats and awards, yeah, Justin Fields is definitely doing something right. As we look at rushing, I'm sure Justin Fields is also on that list, but then we go over to defense. Tremaine Edmonds led the team in tackles. Not really what we're here for. As we go to interception, Deion Sanders had 7 picks in his first season, 91 tackles, 2 TFLs, 7 interceptions, no sacks, 6 pass deflections, no forced fumbles or anything, but he did have a touchdown. That's gotta be defensive rookie of the year, no doubt in my mind. MVP's Patrick Mahomes, who would have thought? Defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald, of course. Who else would it be? Deion's in 4th, so that's gotta be defensive rookie of the year. There it is, defensive rookie of the year, Deion Sanders for the Chicago Bears, as we get to see him in a playoff game in his first season. So for those of you guys that haven't watched one of my defensive player sims, basically how this works, instead of jumping in when they're about to win the game or they have a chance at a game-winning drive, we jump in like game-clinching drives, where say they're winning and then the defense has to come out. Oh, and then Colorado scored on the next play. Just real quick, just to see if he is the returner, I want to look at this. There's the kick. Is it an X factor back here returning kicks? No, he's right there on the front. No, he's not. He's not even returning kicks. Okay. Literally a 99 kick returner, and he's not doing it for some reason. He is the punt returner, though. 3rd and 5 for the Packers. The Bears are up 7. Here we go. Where is Deion at? You can see him right up there, number 21. I'm assuming that's him up there on the top. I didn't look if they changed his number. Actually, it's not, because he's got sleeves and gloves on, and it would not let me change his attire at all. That glitch is still continued, by the way. This is the 3rd sim I've done on this game, and I'm yet to be able to change the face mask, helmet, what they're wearing, or anything for any of the players that I've done. We just jumped off sides, and they didn't snap the ball, though. There's Aaron Jones. No, it's not. That's not Aaron Jones. Okay. In the shotgun this time, Jordan Love hands it off once again, and they get the first down, as no one was in the middle of the field to stop that. I'm going to back out and just look at what Deion's number is real quick. He's number 39. Who has 21? Jeremy Chin has 21. Okay, Deion's number 39. I guess we rock with that. So he's only got superstar dev. He didn't end up getting the X factor. He's right up there on the top of the screen. He's dropping back in zone this time. No man coverage. Jordan Love ends up throwing a risky pass. Can see him once again lined up top. I'm surprised he's not playing slot corner more. He's playing outside on the #1 guys. There's the handoff. This run defense is really selling right now. It's now 3rd and 3. You can see him up there. He's playing inside on Christian Watson up there. Maybe a press. No, but Watson does run. Okay, Deion had him blanketed there as they get get down to the 1. He drops back this time to the middle of the field. Tremaine Edmonds was put in the fucking blender as he was doing a fucking tilt-a-whirl there. We'll go fast through this. See, they ended up punting. Okay, so now we get to jump in again and see if Deion can make the play to win this team the playoff game, or if this defense is going to throw it all away. You can see Deion up top once again. I wonder if he's just following Christian Watson around, because I've seen him on Christian Watson just about every play, and it's actually in that direction, and that's going to be defensive pass interference. Great play on Jaquan Brisker. Okay, and now they're past midfield with 48 seconds left, as this defense may have just sold the game. Once again, Jordan Love is dropping back over the middle, finds his receiver wide open. Who is that, MVS? So he's not shading Christian Watson. I don't see him. Oh, he kind of is. He's lined up above Christian Watson this time as he runs back to play deep immediately. Christian Watson blocks him, but they do make the tackle of Aaron Jones in the backfield. Heavy set. They're going to hand it off, and Aaron Jones just has a wide open hole to get the first down to about the 30, and that's probably going to do it. They're going to take the last time out and kick the field goal and end the game. So it's looking like they're going home in Deion's rookie season. I don't think there's much they can do unless Deion can return this kick all the way. He is a 99 kick returner, though, so he could potentially return this all the way, and there he is. He catches the kick return, and the blocks are setting up. Oh my god, Deion. No, he ran into someone. He had it, man. Oh, that was so close. I thought he was about to break that and go. That would have been crazy. I thought he was genuinely about to do it, but he ran into two guys basically that slowed him down and ended up throwing the play away. Defense kind of got a little bit better going into his sophomore season, actually. He's up to a 92 with his X Factor. Jeremy Chin's up in overall. So is Jalen Johnson. Jaquan Brisker went up in overall, and Eddie Jackson regressed a little bit, I guess. He lost his star dev, but he is now a normal dev. I think that's what bronze is. I've been trying to learn what the development traits are too, so that I stop saying bronze, silver, gold, elite, whatever. Now we simulate to the playoffs, and like I always say, if you guys are enjoying and want to leave a like and subscribe, feel free to. That is always your choice, though. I always say that is your choice, like I'm somehow gonna force you guys to do it. I'm just gonna roll into your room from behind. I sneak out of your closet, grab the mouse, and click subscribe. That's right, I'm lurking in your closet. The fall off hit that second season. They went 4-13. Justin Fields did in fact not have that dog in him this season. The defense didn't either, as everything was red. Fields played like shit. We go and look at the defense here. TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds once again led the team in tackles. Deion's right here with 99 tackles. He had 4 TFLs. He only had 3 picks this season, -4 from his rookie season. He did have 8 pass deflections though, and he did not score another touchdown this season, so he still had a pretty good season overall, but I don't imagine that's defensive player of the year worthy, as we'll take a look at that. I didn't mean to back out of it. Saquon is your offensive player of the year. DeMarcus Lawrence is defensive player of the year, as you don't have Deion anywhere on here. Just like that, we now move on to year 3. I do want to say, I said I was doing Jameis Winston and Johnny Football next, but then me and Apex Mine were talking in the comments about Deion and the I'm Prime thing, and I just immediately got in a Deion Sanders mood, and I wanted to do this one. As we go and look at the defense once again, Deion is now a 95. Eddie Jackson's regressing. He's down to an 84. Jaquan Brisker's up to an 85. Jalen Johnson is now an 87, and Jeremy Chin's an 84. That's a different Jeremy Chin. Oh wow, we're back in the playoffs at 11-6. They won the division. So let's take a look. Justin Fields obviously had to have done a little better. That or the defense carry. Justin Fields did okay. He also did really good rushing. We'll look at defense, where I imagine this is the side of the ball that carried. You once again have Tremaine Edmonds leading the team in tackles. We go to INTs, where you had Deion Sanders with 5. He had 1 TFL and 86 tackles, along with 7 pass deflections. No touchdowns this season. I honestly should look at returns and stuff and see what happened, as you had John Collin returning kicks, but you go to punt return and you had Deion with 227 return yards and no touchdowns. Still yet to break a punt for a touchdown, I think. I don't know, actually. I should go look at his career stats and see if he did, and I just missed it because I wasn't looking at the return stats to begin with. Deion has 575 return yards and no touchdowns. He's yet to return one. His longest return is 15 yards. I need to substitute him in the depth chart as the starting kick returner. Now, my real question is, I wonder if Prime jumps around teams like he did in real life. Like, I'd love to see him go to a team like the Niners with a stacked defense, and the offense scores and takes the lead. So now we get an opportunity to watch Prime with his X Factor now. It's also crazy watching this Colorado game. Travis Hunter has played like every snap because he's playing wide receiver and corner, that's insane. He's playing college football like it's high school. But here we go. Purdy is in the shotgun. Deion, it looks like, is down there on the bottom, and he's not in the middle of the field to stop that, but Tremaine Edmonds is. You can see him up top there. He's one-on-one, it looks like, with Brandon Ayuk. Deebo Samuel's lined up next to Ayuk. Brock is dropping back to throw, and he's throwing in that direction at Deion. Deion misses the tackle, and Kittle Debo gets the first down. This time you can see him up top. He's on Debo once again. TCU's actually driving down the field in the real life game right now. And there's Purdy getting ready to drop back to throw over the middle. He finds Kittle again. Oh, he's playing up close on Debo this time. This is press. This is press man. They dropped it off into a zone. He was following Kittle though, and now Purdy throws it away. It's now 4th and 5. I wish I could edit his attire and everything, but you know, it's EA and they don't want to fix anything with this game, as he's gonna be dropping back deep this time, and they have Kittle wide open on a 4th down for a first down. Purdy comes out in the shotgun once again. Deion's lined up down there, and Debo actually runs up. Okay, Prime laid him out that time. Once again, Purdy dropping back to throw as they're running no huddle. Wide open over the middle is Brandon Ayuk for a first down. This time it looks like zone again. Prime's lined up way outside. He's dropping back to throw. He's in that direction of Debo, and they find McCaffrey out of the backfield, who's going to get met right away. They take that second timeout, so now they have one left. They're in man. You got Prime on Debo once again. It's not man, it's zone. He drops off, and Debo's wide open on the sidelines and scores. That should have been man coverage. Prime would have been all over that. Out of timeouts now. This is basically probably going to be a Hail Mary here. We'll watch as it's 4th down. This is 4th and 6. The biggest play of the game, the last play of the game, basically. Fields is taking the snap, and he just throws it quick out to Cole Kmet, who's going to get tackled inbounds and lose the game. Their goal was probably to try and get him out of bounds, and that just didn't happen. The game is over. I'm going to just dive at Purdy. That's definitely a flag, bro. He would have got ejected. And just like that, they're going home once again in the wild card round. We'll take a look at defensive stats. I didn't do that the last time. Tackles, you had Dre Greenlaw leading it. TFLs, you had Nick Bosa. How about INTs? Any Fred Warner had the only INT. Deion had 6 tackles and 1 pass deflection, but that is the extent of his stats for the game. As we go into year 4, he still hasn't hit that 99 mark. He's at a 97. Eddie Jackson is all the way down to an 81. Brisker's an 86. They've managed to keep this same crew together though, as Jalen Johnson is now an 88, and you get this Jeremy Chin at an 83. And now they're not in the playoffs. So with the 27th ranked pass defense with the secondary that they have, that is insane. Justin Fields didn't do too bad this season. Not great though. In rushing, I'm sure Fields had over 500 yards. Of course he did. We go to defense, where you had Tremaine Edmonds leading the team in tackles once again. Deion with 90 tackles, 2 TFLs, and 4 INTs. He had half a sack that, funny enough, he either split with Tremaine Edmonds or Jaquan Brisker. He had 9 pass deflections. He did have a forced fumble this season, but not a fumble recovery, and no touchdown. So he still only has the 1 touchdown. I don't think he's going to be Defensive Player of the Year, but we'll check. There's the Josh Allen MVP. Defensive Player of the Year ends up going to Micah Parsons, and you don't even have Deion on this list at all. And we'll go look at, I guess we can look at Best DB and just check, as it's Jair Alexander, and he's not even on this list. Oh yeah, he is. He's right there. Sorry, he's in 6th. And now we move into year 5, where they're obviously going to pick up his 5th-year option. He's going to spend at least 1 more year in Chicago. He could technically leave after that, but I highly doubt he does. He'll probably get a bag from this team and end up staying for a long time. They've still kept the same core on offense, minus this McAllister guy being the starting running back now. I don't know why this offense struggles so much with Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, and DJ Moore. Defensively, we finally lost Eddie Jackson. I wonder if he kind of just retired, because he was getting kind of old. And also, this X-Factor safety took Jaquan Brisker's spot, as he's now the 2nd strong safety. Just to fix this, we're editing that. He's going to free safety. There you go. Now Jaquan Brisker's free safety, and Bronson with his X-Factor is the starting strong safety. Jalen Johnson is still here at an 87. Prime is finally up to a 99. Okay, that's about normal. 4 and 13 Chicago Bears. Red in every category of stats. That's great. Justin Fields sucks. He's got 3,500 yards and 23 touchdowns. That's my Ohio State boy, man. I don't want to see that. We go over to defense, where you once again had Tremaine Edmonds leading the team in tackles. Deion had 111 this season with 2 TFLs, no sacks, 3 INTs, 2 pass deflections, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. Definitely not DPOI. It's not even really worth checking, as once again, like I said, they missed the playoffs. I'm going to simulate the free agency, and we're going to see if they ended up re-signing Deion already, or what the deal is there. Offensively, the team basically stayed the same. We go over to defense, and yes, Prime did re-sign. He's down to a 98 with a morale defect. He ended up re-signing on a 3-year deal worth $60 million almost. Well, worth over $60 million. Technically, with that math, it's like 63 point something million. Dude, they had to have used Deion Sanders, by the way, for this face scan. I meant to mention that at the beginning, but you can't tell me that doesn't kind of look like Deion. So I just wanted to show you guys this clearly. It just doesn't let me change anything. Like, I'm sitting here changing it, it just stays the same. But you can't even put face paint on him or anything. Like, here, let's go over, we'll try this. Nothing. 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 So Deion is still a 99. Jalen Johnson is still here. They did lose Jeremy Chin. They now have Gresham here. The X Factor safety Bronson is still around. Tremaine Edmonds is still around. And now we have Davis at free safety. You know, I said free safety wrong my entire life. I used to say full safety, which like thinking about it now doesn't make any sense. But I used to say full safety like my entire life. And in year 6, they once again missed the playoffs, going 7-10. We'll go see how Prime did. They did at least have the number 15 ranked total defense, but the 30th ranked passing defense, which is very bad. For one, Justin Fields, still not great. Still not a good quarterback. We'll go to defense. I keep forgetting to look at his return yards as we go over here. Deion had 98 tackles. He had 2 TFLs, no sacks, 4 INTs, 95 INT yards. One of those may have been a pick 6, 3 pass deflections, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. And there it is. He got a second touchdown this season. He now has 2 pick 6s in his career. We look at return yards. He had 127 punt return yards. We go up to kick returner where they don't have him returning kicks anymore, which is okay, I guess. We'll just leave him at punt returner because I think that's what he's more known for, is punt returns. And Colorado's kicker just kicked a wobbler in through the posts. Defensive player of the year, obviously he doesn't win it. He's probably not going to win one because he's a corner. Micah Parsons wins it. I don't even know if there's a corner on here. There's Aiden Hutchinson, Dre Greenlaw. Best DB is Deion Sanders though, so he did win that. That's kind of like an MVP award for him, winning best corner, as they're doing a sideline interview with him right now. I'm staring at Prime. No, I just thought about mentioning, it's wild to me. This man's missing 2 toes. He had 2 toes amputated. That's still just that's insane. Pretty sure recently he almost lost his whole foot too. I don't know the entire story on that, but I swear I read somewhere recently he almost lost his entire foot and had to have that amputated. They have an X Factor quarterback behind Justin Fields. There's now 3 X Factors on this defense as Gresham is up to corner 2. They lost Jalen Johnson. Bronson is still here. He's up to a 90. Davis is up to an 81. Prime is still a 99. There's an X Factor at right end now. Tremaine Edmonds is still around. They drafted a left outside linebacker, and now he's in through year 7 where he's got 2 years left on his contract. So after 2 more seasons, following year 8, after year 8 going into year 9, he could leave this team, but he probably won't. And they did it for the first time since year 3. They're back in the playoffs. They're 9-8. They still didn't even win the division though. The Lions won the division and had the tiebreaker over them. Let's go look at how Prime did. Actually, let's look at this real quick. Passing defense was ranked 19th. Total defense was 20th. Rushing offense with a mobile quarterback like Justin Fields is actually 9th and is our only thing that's in the green in the rankings. Deion had 15 return attempts for 121. Still no punt return touchdowns out of him. We'll go to defense where you had Tremaine Edmonds once again leading the team in tackles. You ended up with Deion with 112 tackles. He had 3 TFLs. He had 5 INTs, 7 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, and no touchdowns this season. But hey, that safety, Jared Bronson, he did have a touchdown. Going into the wild card round, they're playing Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Obviously, the Seattle Seahawks. They have a new quarterback, though. No more Geno Smith. They have Jamal Drummond. Currently down 5. Justin Fields has to get him down the field and into the end zone. He's actually doing it. They might score here. It's 3rd and goal, and there's the touchdown. So it is now a 1-point game with 47 seconds left. Seattle has 3 timeouts, and now this defense needs to make a huge play. Prime is on the bottom of the field. You can basically see his helmet sticking up through the bottom overlay, and he is in man coverage on the bottom. He's dropping back. That throw over the middle to K9 is wide open, but they make a good tackle there and make Seattle waste a timeout. Prime is lined up in the slot this time. You can see him right there on the side of the line. He's following the tight end, and a quick throw. Oh, that was Prime. Wait a minute. There's a receiver down on the bottom. That's DK Metcalf, and I'm assuming Prime is there as the safety's up deep there. I was wondering about that. So Prime you can't see right now. Drummond is rolling out and he gets sacked, and they're going to have to take the second timeout. It's now 4th and 11. Prime this time is lined up top. It looks like he's on DK again as Jackson's lined up in the middle, and there's the throw towards DK, and Prime breaks it up and may have just won the Chicago Bears the playoff game. They finally won a playoff game, and Prime made the game-sealing pass deflection from DK to cement the win and move them on to the divisional round for the first time in his career. As you can see, Justin Fields threw 239, a touchdown and a pick. We go over to defense where you had Deion with 9 total tackles, no sacks, no INTs, but 1 pass deflection, which happened to be the best pass deflection of the game and won them the game. Punt returning, it doesn't even look like they had him back there. Kick returns, you had nothing from Deion there either, and now we move on into the divisional round. In the divisional round, they're going to be playing Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers, who were the number 1 seed at 14-3 with Ikem Ekwonu. I can never say his name right. They also have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. They have an 11-point lead right now going into the third third. Oh my god, Justin Fields is about to score again. Now it's 14-point lead. No way. Now it's 17, 10-point. Okay, 3-point. And they're trying to throw the lead. Now with no timeouts, Carolina has to come back out on offense, and this defense led by Deion Sanders really needs to make a stop. They are backed up deep. You can see Deion right there lined up in the slot. He is not in man, he's in zone. Bryce has all day back there to throw and finds a wide open receiver for a first down. Now once again, Prime is lined up down low on the bottom of your screen. You can see his head sticking up, but I saw number 39 right there when he jumped up, and they're in zone coverage. The running back is wide open, but Tremaine Edmonds runs up and makes a big tackle there. With no timeouts left, that runs time off the clock. Bryce is dropping back to throw once again. He throws to the flats on a drag, and the guy doesn't get out of bounds. That's going to run more time off the clock. That's good, but it's only a 3-point game, so they can't let him get into field goal range. Bryce snaps it quick this time. He's dropping back to throw, hits the running back again, and there's a flag, which might be offensive illegal. Oh, okay. Roughing the passer, of course. So now here goes Bryce Young once again in the shotgun. He's dropping back to throw. He's got someone over the middle wide open. Deion is there, though, to make the tackle inbounds and bring it down to just about 50 seconds left. Comes out in the pistol this time. He's dropping back to throw. They're just running a zone, and the flats are open. You got to make that tackle. He makes the tackle inbounds. It's now 3rd and 1. Under 30 seconds left. Bryce Young is dropping back to throw. He's got the running back wide open in the middle of the field, and he actually throws it towards the receiver out of bounds, and it's now 4th down. They're going to try the long field goal from here from the 38. What is that? Plus 10 is 48, plus 7 is 55. Okay, it's just a 55-yarder. I thought it was farther than that for some reason. 55-yard field goal here to win the game, or to tie the game, and the kick is going to be good. Oh, man. The offense gets the ball first in OT, though, and Justin is kind of getting them downfield, but then they lose 3 yards, a 3rd and 5. Now 4th and inches, and they kick a field goal. So now this defense needs to make a big stop to win them the game. Bryce Young needs to lead his team down the field and score a touchdown, whereas this defense, if they can make a stop, will win the game, and that is a good play by the middle linebackers. A Michigan highlight just popped up, and Blake Corum just had a huge run, and there's a touchdown by Blake Corum, and it's 14-0 Michigan. There's Bryce Young in the shotgun. Play action. Oh, they broke it up. Okay. It's 23-0 Michigan at halftime. I'm so happy I didn't place that bet the way I wanted it to. I almost bet on East Carolina to be tied with them at halftime. There's Bryce Young. He's actually going to run play action here on a heavy blitz. Prime breaks up the pass to bring up a 4th down. Sorry, I was distracted by college football. I'm a little scatterbrained right now. Here's Bryce Young. He's dropping back to throw once again. It's 4th down over the middle, and it's incomplete. They're going to win. They're going to the NFC Championship game in year 7 or year 8. Bryce did throw 1 interception, so we go over to defense, and you see Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah had 16 tackles. Who had the 1 INT? Deion Sanders had the 1 INT. He had no pass deflection, so I guess when they hit him and they break it up, it doesn't count as a deflection. And the division matchup in the NFC Championship game, the Detroit Lions against the Chicago Bears, to see who goes to the Super Bowl. The Lions top 3, you get Aiden Hutchinson, Jack Campbell, and Penei Sewell. Jack Campbell's actually really good in Madden. He develops really well. Lions take an early lead. Justin Fields gets him downfield for a field goal. He gets the ball back, but they have to punt. He needs to put a touchdown drive together as they're down 10, and now they're down 17, and then he finally decides to put a touchdown drive together. Now they're down 13. Fields couldn't get him in the end zone, and they're going to go home losing by 13 in the NFC Championship game. Dan Campbell is going to a Super Bowl with the Detroit Lions. Defense, Edmond had 10 tackles. Jack Campbell had 11. Deion had 6 tackles. He had no INTs, no sacks, no TFLs, no pass deflections, nothing at all for Deion this game, really. As now we move into year 8. The last year on his contract, he has the potential to leave after this season. I kind of hope he does. I want him to go on a better team that the offense can actually perform well enough to help him out and maybe has a better defensive scheme. This team is still rocking with Justin Fields, has terrible wide receivers and Cole Kmet at tight end. Defensively, you still have Prime at a 99. You have Stevens here at 85. They drafted a rookie defensive tackle. Tremaine Edmonds is gone. That's hell. This team's in for a rough one after that then. And Bronson is up to a 92. Gresham is an 84. And Davis has progressed pretty well up to an 83. This team has pretty high morale after making the NFC Championship game last season. We'll see what happens if they can make it back to the playoffs this year. I kind of figured that was going to happen. They went 8-9 and missed the playoffs. They had the 23rd ranked defense and 25th ranked passing defense. So like this passing defense, despite having the best cornerback of all time, is not great. 4,200 yards and 28 touchdowns out of Fields. Will go down to defense. Here you had Mike Robinson, the middle linebacker, leading the team in tackles. You scroll down here. Deion had 80 tackles, 3 TFLs, 1 INT. His worst season for interception so far, surprisingly. surprisingly, with only 1. He had 21 yards returning. He had 5 pass deflections. You go over here, his 1 pick wasn't a touchdown. We go to punt returning, where you had Deion with 19 returns for 131 and no touchdown. So he's not doing great returning. I think going into next season, like as we're loading in, if he doesn't switch teams, I'm going to go into the depth chart and I'm going to change him to the starting kick returner too, so that he's getting more opportunities to return those for touchdowns. As we go over here, and oh god, okay, I thought he was gone, but he just regressed down to a gold and a 95 overall. The right end still is an X factor. Bronson lost his X factor too, but Gresham is also up to star or superstar. Gold is superstar. But also something I didn't point out on the offense, Justin Fields is gone. They now have this X factor quarterback here, Gregory as the starter, with Winston and Woodbury as the starting 2 receivers. Cole Kmet is finally gone as well. All right, Deion Sanders should be the starting kick returner now. He is the starting punt returner. Let me see. I'm in the wrong spot. I want to check his contract and see how long he re-signed for, as he's already started to regress, so may not be much time left as we go. I'll go look at his contract real quick. I'm imagining it's probably another 3 years worth like 50 million. Oh, it's actually 1 year worth 22.5 million. Okay, so he's only back here for 1 more year. We'll see if he manages to stick around a little while longer as we go into his 9th season. Oh wow, Colorado just scored a 75-yard touchdown as we go into this in year 9. They missed the playoffs again on Deion's 1-year contract. They went 7-10. Corey Gregory had about the same stats as Justin Fields would have, so he's not making that big of a difference. Paul Harper led the team in tackles this season. As we scroll down, Deion had 78 tackles, 2 TFLs, 4 INTs, 6 pass deflections, a forced fumble, and no touchdowns. So he still only got the 2 touchdowns. I want to see him run those numbers up. I need to look at his return yards. Punt returning, he had 23 returns for 186 and no touchdowns. Kick returns, they ended up subbing him out, so he didn't return any kicks. That sucks. That's one thing. If I have to change settings to get him to stay as kick returner, but if I change those settings, it's going to mess up with a lot of other stuff like the progression of players. So it's one of those things that I don't think he's going to really end up being that starting kick returner that I want him to be, even though that rookie season he almost did return a kick return. I'll just make sure I change him in the depth chart going into playoff games so we get to see him return kicks. And he re-signed again. Okay, he's down to a 93 overall. He's got a +1 morale boost, so he's technically a 93, not a 94. I still can't get over that face scan. That definitely looks like Deion at first glance. We look at his contract. He's on another 1-year deal worth $23.6 million, but he has low overall interest to re-sign, so I don't know why he continues to stay here. Maybe it's a money thing. McAllister's an 85, Gregory's an 87. We look at the whole defense. Gresham is up to an 86. They lost Bronson, so now the strong safety's a 78 overall. Posey. Oh no, Bronson just moved to free safety at a 92. That's a little bit of a weird random change. And Stevens even lost his X factor as he's an 89 overall, so the whole defense lost their X factor, probably because they've been struggling a lot. I'm going to just try something. I should have done this sooner, but we're going to change this scheme up. We're going for a disguise 3-4. Why not? Let's do it, because I'm not dealing with this defense being that bad still. We're going to see what happens here as we sim to the playoffs, see if they get a little better this season. They're the number 1 seed. They went 13-4. I don't know why the Bear never shows up when it says Bears here, but they're 13-4. That's insane. They had the 27th ranked passing defense, which is still pretty bad, but the 16th ranked overall defense and number 2 passing offense. Oh, Corey Gregory's a dog. This man 37 touchdowns to 6 picks. So we'll go look at defense here. Deion started to improve a little bit again this season with 91 tackles, 2 TFLs, 5 INTs, 130 INT yards, which might mean he has another touchdown this season. 5 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and you go over here, he didn't have a touchdown. That's a lot of return yards on INTs and not have a touchdown. And in the divisional round, they're playing a team that I didn't expect to see here in the Washington Commanders, who are 11-6. I wonder if they still have Sam Howell at quarterback, because he also progresses well. Wrong. They have Matt Coleman, Jimmy Sharp are running back, and there's Chase Young. So they made the NFC Championship game once. They have to win this game and they'll get there. They had a week off, so they should be rested up and should be able to perform pretty well in this game as they score quick. Gregory's on it. It should be about over. The Chicago Bears should be on their way back to the NFC Championship game, and they are, with a final score of 28-17. Corey Gregory had 295 and 2 touchdowns. Matt Coleman had 156 and 2 touchdowns. Let's go see if there was any INTs thrown. There was not, but we can still take a look at prime stats where, let's see here, Deion Sanders had 3 total tackles. He had no sacks, no INTs, because there wasn't even one thrown in the game. He had no pass deflections, no fumble recoveries, no forced fumbles, nothing. He really only had 3 tackles the whole game. And now in the conference conference championship game. They're playing the Seattle Seahawks, a team they beat last season in the playoffs or not last season, but the season they went to the NFC championship game against, where they have Jamal Drummond, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and it doesn't look like K9 is there anymore. And they're down 21-7. This isn't great. It's not a great start. No. It's 28-7. I think it's over already. It is. It's over. They lose in the NFC championship game for the second time in his career. At least he was only on a one-year deal, and he can now leave again after this season. He can try at least. I doubt he does. He just seems to love it in Chicago. Corey Gregory threw 225 and no touchdowns. Jamal Drummond threw 261 and 3 touchdowns. We look at player stats. Neither quarterback threw an interception. Let's look at defense. Here we go down to find Sanders. There's Prime. He had 4 tackles. He had no sacks. He had no INTs, no pass deflections. So a subpar playoff season for Prime, but a pretty good regular season. They lose in the NFC championship game once again. Okay, he's back at a 92 overall for year, 11? Yep. He's back on another one-year deal worth $23.6 million. After this season, I'm going to look at his career stats just because I'm getting to that point where I'm a little scared he might end up retiring. I didn't look at the rest of the team. I need to do that. Okay, Gresham is still here up to an 84. Bronson's back to strong safety as an 87. They drafted Tucker here as free safety. The corner 3 Stallworth isn't great. Joe Thomas unretired and came back as a left outside linebacker because he lost so much weight. It's not actually Joe Thomas, obviously, but it's just funny that face scan looks like one they'd use for Joe Thomas if they didn't scan his face into the game. So following a season that they made the NFC Championship game, they'll probably miss the playoffs because that's just how this team has worked so far in his career. And like I said, they missed the playoffs. They had the 20th ranked overall defense, 17th overall passing defense. So the passing defense improved a little bit. I think changing the defensive scheme probably helped with that. Corey Gregory fell off a cliff. We go to defense. You had Robinson here leading the team in tackles. You had Prime with 90 tackles, 3 TFLs. He had no interceptions for the first time in his career, but 9 pass deflections. As now we simulate towards year 12 to see if he comes back or if he decides to finally call it a career. I can't even say finally. It's been a pretty short career. So in defensively, Prime did resign. He's an 89 overall. He's just a career Chicago Bear. He's not jumping around teams like he did in real life because he played for what? Cowboys, Falcons, there's another one. He re-signed on another one-year deal worth $20 million. He just keeps coming back. This might finally be it, though, as he's down to an 89, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is where it ends for him. Let's him forward to the playoffs in year 12. Let's see if they can actually make it this season. I don't imagine they do. If they couldn't last season, and after making the NFC Championship game, they've just gotten worse since then. All right, fine. Prove me wrong. Make the playoffs. They did it. And they're playing the Dallas Cowboys in the wild card round. They went 10-7, got second in the division behind the 14-3 Packers, who I'm assuming are the 1 seed. We'll go look at how our boy Deion did. Corey Gregory had a lot better of a season this season. We go look at defense. Deion ended up with 94 tackles, 3 TFLs, and 3 INTs as he's finally back in that category, but still short of his real-life mark. 3 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, and no touchdowns, so he's still at that 2 mark with touchdowns. Take a look at his punt return yards. He's got 246 attempts for 1,938 yards. Pretty good stats punt return-wise. We'll also go take a look at his full all-time defensive stats. He has 1,120 tackles, 29 TFLs, still half a sack, 44 INTs, 45 was his longest interception return, 70 pass deflections, 8 forced fumbles, and those 2 touchdowns. And now they have a chance to try and send him off into the sunset, even though he'll probably come back for another year or 2 after this, but we'll see if they can make it past the Cowboys in the wild card round. All right, they have a chance to ice the game. It was 29-10, and they started to scare me, but they iced it out. So they're going back to the divisional round. They went 29-24. They were giving me a little bit of a scare there. 341 and 3 touchdowns out of Corey Gregory as George Sweeney had 274 and no touchdowns. We look at some player stats. Sweeney did throw an interception. Was it to Deion Sanders, though? No, it was to Byron Stallworth. Tackle-wise, you get Deion Sanders leading the game in tackles, though, with 8 total tackles, no TFLs, no sacks, no pass deflections, but he's going back to the divisional round. Now in the divisional round, they're going to be playing the LA Rams. The Rams, okay, never mind. I was about to say don't have any players that we know from today. They're all auto-generated, but then Lamar Jackson's there. So, yeah, this is going to be a fun one. They have a 5-point lead here late in the game with the ball back. They've had it since the start of the 4th. They're driving it down. Even a field goal here. A field goal makes it an 8-point game, and now the defense just needs to make a stop, and they are on their way to another NFC Championship game. This is a kickoff, man. I don't want to jump in. Travis Hunter just got an interception in the Colorado game. I was just in awe. That was wild. He just dove right in front of the running back for that, but now we got to jump in here as it is towards the end of the game. They're up 8, and the Rams do have the ball. There's Lamar Jackson. Where's Prime? Oh, I can't even tell which one Prime is anymore. He doesn't have any kind of ability anymore. anymore. That's not Cooper Kupp, but it looks like it wants to be Cooper Kupp. Prime, I think, is up top on this play. I'm thinking that's Prime. I honestly cannot tell you which one he is, but we'll know if he gets an interception at least. That is in the direction of one of the corners. That was Prime, actually. Prime was on the bottom, and he got burned a little bit, even though I think it was zone. That is Prime down there on the bottom of the screen, covering the same guy. It's somewhat in that direction, but I think Prime was deeper down the field there. Prime is once again down on the bottom. He's covering towards the tight end. He's running out there. Wasn't there for the tackle, but he was at least covering his guy. He keeps lining up on the bottom of the screen, so I'm just going to keep looking down there, and that is in the opposite direction of Prime, and a very good play by the safety, who's actually, oh, that's Tucker. That's the rookie that they drafted. Yeah, Prime once again on the bottom behind the Rams house thing down there. Lamar is in the shotgun. He takes a snap. He's dropping back to throw. He's a lot of time back there, and okay, he couldn't get around the D end, who's Stevens. That's the one that used to have his X factor. With 30 seconds left, they have one timeout. The Rams need to get a first here. Lamar's rolling out again. He throws it away. Now it's a 4th and 22. Prime is on the bottom of the screen. Lamar is dropping back to throw. He has time over the middle. That was towards Prime, but Prime makes the tackle to make it a turnover on downs and give the Bears the ball back and move on to another NFC Championship game. Corey Gregory threw 259 and a touchdown. Lamar threw 257 and 2 touchdowns. We'll look at player stats. Neither quarterback threw an INT, but we'll take a look at how Prime did. Prime ended up having 4 tackles. He had no sacks, no INTs. He did have 1 pass deflection, though, which he hasn't had in any of the playoff games recently. Now in the NFC Championship game, they're once again playing the Seattle Seahawks. I think this is the 3rd time they've played them in the second back-to-back years, but the year before they beat them in the divisional round. This is a really big play. They're down 3, under 2 minutes to go. It's a 3rd and 5 for Seattle. This defense needs to make a stop to get their offense the ball back and an opportunity to win this game and send them to a Super Bowl, as there's play action. The throw, and he's wide open, and that's probably going to do it. They're going home once again in the NFC Championship game as JSN burned the defense and got the first down on a 3rd and 5. Drummond ended up cementing it and sending them to another Super Bowl, beating the Chicago Bears. Couldn't get it done. 3 NFC Championship games they've been to, and they haven't been able to win any of them, as Jamal Drummond sends them home for the 2nd time. Defensively, you get Deion leading the game with tackles with 9. He had no TFLs, no sacks, no INTs, 1 pass deflection, but he's sadly going home in year 12, and now we go to year 13, where he could potentially leave. He could retire, or he could stay another year. Going into year 13, Prime is gone. Now, did he go to another team, or did he retire? I'm going to check NFL rosters and make sure he's not on a different team first. It happened. Year 13, after 12 years in Chicago, he left and he went to San Francisco. He is the oldest corner in the league at the age of 34. He comes into a lot different of a scenario with a really good offense. He's got Caleb Williams as his quarterback. He comes into a lot better situation here. He's corner 2 actually behind Forney here, who's a 92 overall. Deion's an 88 with a +1 morale boost. You get Woodbury, who's a superstar at D tackle. You get Flemons, who's a superstar at middle linebacker, and then you get Hardison, that is a superstar at free safety. TCU just took the lead over Colorado, by the way. And now let's advance and see how his first year in San Fran goes. First year in San Fran, they go 9-8 with the 20th ranked passing defense. We'll go take a look at how his stats are looking. It wasn't the best season. They were 2nd in the division. Caleb Williams didn't do too hot. Deion actually only had 68 tackles with 1 TFL and 2 INTs. He had 3 pass deflections, no forced fumbles, and no touchdowns. So yeah, he's kind of at that older age where he's not going to put up huge numbers. He's also corner 2 now. They're playing the Minnesota Vikings in the wildcard round, whose quarterback just so happens to be Justin Herbert. Patrick Hitchens is their number 1 receiver, as I'm assuming Jay Jettis is retired by now. Team is currently down 7. Defense does make a stop, though, so now this offense has to get down the field and score, and Caleb Williams turns the ball over on downs, and it's looking like it's going to end there, as they can kick a field goal here, make it a 10-point game with a minute and a half. Caleb Williams isn't able to do anything, and they're going home. So his first year in San Fran is rather lackluster, as Caleb threw 138 and a touchdown to Herbie's 268 and a touchdown. Deion ended up with 5 tackles, no sacks, no TFLs, no INTs, no pass deflections even, but he's still Prime. You know, at the end of the day, he's Prime, so there's nothing we can really say. I was wrong, by the way. Colorado transferred to the Big 12. I said that earlier about the Big 10 or Pac-12. It's actually the Big 12. I just mixed them up. Deion is back for year 14 on another 1-year deal. He is 35 years old. You still have Forney here. You still have Woodbury here. You still have Flemons. You still have Hardison. Maybe year 14. Maybe this Niners team can put it all together and send him on to a Super Bowl and off into retirement a happy man. The passing offense sold completely. They had the number number 3 passing defense, number 10 overall defense, and went 8-9 and missed the playoffs. But the passing offense was ranked 28th, and they were 30th in total offenses. Josh Escobar, I don't even know who you are. They got rid of Caleb Williams for this guy, and he was actually terrible. Defensively, his Prime's career winds down. He had 56 tackles, no TFLs, no sacks, 1 INT, 4 pass deflections, and no touchdowns or forced fumbles. We'll take another look at his career stats here, as I'm thinking this might be the end of the line for Deion Sanders. He ends up finishing with 1,244 total tackles, 30 TFLs, half a sack, 47 INTs. He was 6 short of his real-life mark. 77 pass deflections, 8 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, and his 2 touchdowns. And Deion Sanders is no longer a 49er. I'm going to take a look at the retirement list and see if he did finally decide to call it a career. So I don't see him on the retired list. I wonder if that means he switched teams again going into year 15? Oh my god, he went to Dallas. He is 36 years old, going into his 15th season, and he went back to the place, not where it all began, because I'm pretty sure he started in Atlanta in real life. I think I'm wrong about that. But now we have to go beyond the Cowgirls, who I'm hoping Mike McCarthy isn't their coach anymore. It's not. It's Adam Rodgers. Thank God Mike McCarthy's not here. He's regressed all the way down to normal dev. He's an 87 at corner 2 behind this Wagner guy who's a 90. They have a right outside linebacker playing Micah's position who's a 96 with an X factor. They have Clinton here who's an 85. They have Carey who's an 86. This is a pretty good defense to come into. So we'll see if this Cowboys team can actually put it together and maybe send Deion to a Super Bowl. I think this is actually where he won both of his in real life. They went 10-7 and missed the playoffs. That's insane. They had the number 30 ranked passing defense. Oh god, dude, Deion is just on a bad luck streak after 15 seasons of bad luck even. He ended up leading the team in picks though with 2, but he's still short of his real life mark, as that's going to put him at 49. He had 82 tackles, 2 TFLs. He had 4 pass deflections, no forced fumbles, no touchdowns. We'll take one last look at his career stats because I really do think this is it. I just need my mic in the middle of that. 1,326 tackles, 32 TFLs, 49 INTs, 81 pass deflections, 8 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, and obviously his 2 touchdowns. It's a great career put together for Deion. He just couldn't get that ring. We'll see though if he does come back for another year. And there you have it. After 15 years, he goes to Dallas. He retires in Dallas, and Deion Sanders is going off into the Hall of Fame most likely. As you can see, if you read right there down at the bottom, it'll be a full day of speeches when quarterback Bryce Young, D tackle George McKinney, and cornerback Deion Sanders go into the Hall of Fame. He doesn't end up finishing anywhere on the all-time INT leaderboards. Obviously, his numbers weren't that high in that sense, but we'll go look at legacy score because I usually like to do that, even though that really has no relevance to anything. Deion finishes all-time as the best corner with Pat Pete behind him. He goes off into the Hall of Fame. 14 yearly awards, no championships, no Super Bowls, but he did go to 3 championship games. 14 yearly awards, some of them are Players of the Week. He won Best DB 3 times, I'm pretty sure, and he won Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he never won DPOY. That is going to be it though, guys. This one was fun. I really enjoyed doing the defensive player ones like this. Like, I got to do Warren Sapp at some point. Someone else suggested that, and I completely forgot about it until right now when I was saying that. But next, I got to do Jameis Winston and then Johnny Football and blah, blah. I got to get onto those guys. I really got to get through those ones. But if you guys did enjoy, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. This was a fun one. I will talk to you all in the next one. Peace out.